How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about mistakes to avoid so you don't ruin your account. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I am the Lion Sin of Pride, the mighty Escanor, and welcome to the pinnacle of Gacha gaming on YouTube, the One.
So the first mistake to avoid if you come over here is not paying attention to type advantage, right? In most games you can get away without paying attention to type advantage, but in this game it's really important. Like if we go over here, it says here that the affinity advantage against opponents when attacking, you get an increased crit rate of 15%, and you also get an increase in damage of 15%, right? And if you have a elemental disadvantage against opponents when attacking, it reduces your crit rate by 30%, and it reduces your effect accuracy by 50%, and it reduces your damage dealt by 15%. So you will be actively nerfing yourself if you're going into a fight at a type disadvantage, right? But if you have the same element or same affinity as the enemy you're attacking, then you're good. So like for example, if I'm using Tiamat in a Doki Doki dungeon, they're both the odd element, so that's cool, right? That can run. Or if I'm using Rosa and Doki Doki, that can run because they're both odd, right? But elemental disadvantage is something you want to avoid as much as possible because you will be nerfing yourself. Okay, so the next mistake to avoid is not max refreshing every single day. Now, what do I mean by max refreshing? Well, when you burn through all your stamina that the game gives you, when you progress through the story, and you use up the stamina you get from leveling up your account and stuff, you will be able to do up to 10 refreshes a day with Hydra crystals. Now, in most situations, in most games, you want to stay clear from doing this, but this is actually really important because you want to max refresh to get the EXP from doing quests and stuff as fast as possible. You want to level up your account as fast as possible because certain gear will be locked behind account level. So if we head on over into Aurora, just for example, and we'll just go use Inferno difficulty as an example, right? Inferno difficulty unlocks at account level 50. So you want to push your account as much as possible doing the max refreshes so that you can reach account level 50 as fast as possible, so you can start getting the mythical gear, which is the best gear in the game, right? Because if you don't do this, you're pretty much going to be behind everyone else when it comes to gear. And then people who did max refresh for the first like week or two to get to account level 50, they'll have better gear than you. They'll be able to, out damage you in PvP, guild versus guild, you know what I'm saying, RTA. So it's going to be really important to get to account level 50 as fast as possible. But as I said, you can slow down on the max refreshes. Once you get to account level 40, you can chill out a little bit. And building off of that, for your stamina refreshes that I'm talking about, you want to use your Hydra crystals. Don't use your stabilizers. Save your stabilizers for a drop rate increase, right? They will have some events, I think around maybe day 8 or 10. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but they will have events where the drop rates for, I don't know, EXP or prowess, whatever it is, the drop rates will increase. So save these stabilizers for that. When I'm talking about these max refreshes, I'm talking about your Hydra crystals. So that's why you want to save these and only use your Hydra crystals for the first like 2 weeks. So building off of that, the next thing is the resource management, right? Make sure you manage your resources correctly. If you head on over here, so pretty much you want to save your EXP materials. So the way you want to do it early on is you want to level up a few units, primarily your main DPS unit you're using to clear through the main story, right? You want to work like that, because if you level up like 10 units at the same time, then you're effectively not going to be able to progress as efficiently. So you want to focus on your main DPS first for your main team, right? For your main squad of 4 to 5 units early on. Then as you progress, and you get more EXP, then you kind of start leveling up other units. And the way I like to personally do it is when you eventually take up your unit to 6-star, I like to let them casually take up the passive EXP, right? You want to let them get the passive EXP because you do get EXP from farming in the dungeons or whatever, so you can passively get EXP. So once you hit the 6-star mark, let them passively get that EXP, and then you can start investing to take your other units up to 5-star. And that's another thing. You should only take your main DPS up to 6-star, and then all your other units you can take them up to 5-star, right? So you can work with 5 stars at that point. Another thing is manage your lattices correctly, right? So if you in progress right here, you can increase your unit stats, right, as you can see. Then here I'll be able to increase the actual skill for Doki Doki, and it's gonna cost Perfect Lattice. Perfect Lattice is the most rarest resource in the game, right? So make sure you use them sparingly, and you actually think twice before you use them, right? Because the only way to get them is from events, from the Union. Yeah, that's about it really, from events and from Union. And the only other way is by spending money, right? And it costs about $30 to buy one lattice, so one perfect lattice. So that's what I'm saying. You want to think twice before you use these, right? So manage that correctly. The next thing is with your modules. So with modules, do I want on level? Just use this for example. Boom. So early on, you're gonna get a lot of trash gear, right? You're gonna get a lot of trash gear, and all the trash gear, you shouldn't take it past level 6, right? Because you don't want to take it to max level, because you will be recycling them and getting rid of them really fast. But I like to keep gear that's under the unique rarity up to +6, right? Then once you start getting unique gear, you can take that up to +9, right? You can take that up to +9. Reason for this is you don't want to over invest and waste your Etheria coin, because you're gonna need Etheria coin for leveling up your modules, and the higher level you're going, the more Etheria coin is gonna cost. So for example, you guys can see here, it's 15,000, 25,000, 30,000, 35,000, 40,000, right? Then if you go to level 10, that's 65,000. Level 11, 70,000. Level 12, 80,000. Then level 13 key here, 90,000. Then 14, 100,000. To go to 15, sorry. So that just shows you it's gonna cost a lot of Etheria coin, and that was just one piece, by the way. And you're gonna have 6 in total. So that's a lot. That's a lot of Etheria coin going down the drain. So you want to be wise with how you invest into your modules, and don't over invest into trash at the same time. Next, we're going to talk about Shadow Prince. So I spoke about taking your units up to 6-star. So to take up your units to 6-star, you're going to have to use a resource called Shadow Prince. Now, Shadow Prince are going to be really rare as well, so you have to manage them accordingly. So like I said, it's going to be the same idea when it comes to leveling up your main DPS. You want to focus on taking up your main DPS up to 6-star first, right? Focus on your main DPS first, and then slowly plan, and then maybe you can slowly plan around who you want to build after that. But focus on your main DPS units first. I'll focus on just DPS units in general, because supports are whatever. You can keep your supports at like 5-star. Yeah, right. Your supports at 5-star is a pretty nice place I like to keep it. But DPS units, take them up to 6-star, right? Next, we're gonna talk about your shells. So don't neglect your shells. So I was talking about modules, modules earlier, guys. So your shells are gonna actually be able to give you. Let's just someone random. Right here, look. So this shell, the golden line. You can see here at the bottom, it has 3 matrix levels for Battle Will, 3 matrix levels for Keen Eye, and 3 matrix levels for Swift Raid. So these matrix levels will contribute to getting the threshold for your modules gear effects, right? So let me pick let's go in here. Let's just pick Swift Raid, for example, real quick. Boom, 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 boom. But I don't have any Swift Raid. We'll just use Swift Rush. So this one right here. So if you go in here, you can see that the threshold to get the maximum bonus of the Swift Rush set is 12. So I need 12 matrix levels, and I can get some from here, but you don't want to run a full. You don't want to run like you don't want to run four or five Swift Rush sets, right? So take advantage of your shells, right? So you want to look at a shell that has, for example, if you come into filter, we'll just go Swift Rush, bang, and yeah, let's mount this one, and this one will give me 3 matrix levels for the Swift Rush set, right? You give me 3 matrix levels for the Swift Rush set. So you want to take advantage of your you want to definitely take advantage of your shells. So don't focus on just your modules. Your shells are also going to be really important. Next is make sure that you don't use your SSR selector on day 1. Now this one not many people will like to hear, but it's something that you're going to have to take into consideration if you want to be efficient as possible, because you don't want to get dupes early on. You do not want dupes, guys. I'm telling you, you don't want dupes. Yes, dupes matter now in PvP and in every game mode, but you don't want them early on. You want to have that horizontal investment in terms of getting different units, because you're going to want to have, by the time you hit level 40, you're going to want to have 15 RGB units, right? You're going to want to have 15 RGB units for each element. So you're going to want 5 red units, 5 green units, and 5 blue units, right? Now with light dikes, you can slot them in. You can play around with that and slot them in wherever, but they aren't a. That's just a luck. That's not something that's guaranteed to happen. So you want to have as many units as possible, right? For your account, you don't want to chase dupes. So that's why I'm saying you want to use this at day like 3 or day 4, right? When you've already done, because by day 3 or day 4, you should have had around 300 to 350 pulls done by day 4 or day 3, right? So 300 pulls would have been done by then. So you would have already seen who you got from the permanent banner. For example, if you were thinking of getting a Rosa from your targeted summon right here, and you actually managed to pull Rosa off the permanent banner, then that means that you can change and pick someone else that you don't have, that you weren't able to pull on the standard banner. Like for example, you could pick a Tiamat, or you could pick a Real Mocha, or you could pick a, like, I don't know, Hellkid, anyone. So make sure you save your SSR selector to day 3 or day 4 if you want to be efficient. Like, you don't have to listen to me, and you can just do what you want. But if you want to be efficient as possible, especially if you're free to play, save this. Don't use it straight away. Don't use it straight away. So the next thing is, don't make your decisions based on RNG, right? So don't plan, or don't come into the game thinking you're gonna get a certain unit, right? So plan around the RNG. Don't make your plans based off of RNG. So don't think that, okay, I'm not gonna select, even though I want Tiamat, even though I want to select Tiamat, I'm not gonna select Tiamat. I'm gonna select Real Mocha, because I'm gonna be getting Tiamat off of the permanent banner. Like, don't do that, guys. Don't plan around RNG. Don't make plans based on RNG, because you're not guaranteed anything. This is the gacha game, right? So yeah, that's a really important thing, because I saw a lot of people trying to do that. You don't make plans based on the gacha, because I've seen people spend $1,000 and units that they were chasing, they didn't get that unit they were chasing. They got every unit besides the unit they were trying to get. All right. And the next mistake to avoid is don't summon on the light dark rate up. Now this is going to be a trap banner, right? This is a trap banner for a lot of reasons, and mainly because the cost of this, obviously it uses these Apex prototype tickets, but it's also going to cost Hydra crystals, and it's going to cost, the conversion of these is going to cost 3,000 Hydra crystals for one multi-summon, right? To give you a bit of perspective, the standard banner is the conversion rate for the anime prototypes. The conversion rate for the anime prototype tickets is 1,000 Hydra crystals, so it's 3 times the cost summon on the light deck. Same thing for the RGB rate up. The RGB rate up is the same as the standard, so it's not worth doing these, because the light deck units are actually on the standard banner, right? 0.25%. But the light dark units are actually on here, so don't chase these. They will come when they come. If you're free to play, if you're will, hey, do what you want, summon on it if you want. But it's not worth it because it's a lot of Hydra crystals going down the drain. And like we spoke about earlier, you want to save your Hydra crystals for max refreshes so you can get to account level 40 or account level 50, I should say, because at account level 50, that's when you have access to all the difficulties in the module dungeons, so you can start getting the mythical gear as fast as possible. That is your main priority, not chasing a light dark unit who you could potentially pull at any point off of the standard banner anyways. So yeah, same thing for the extra affinity summons. Stay clear from this as well. The next mistake to avoid is not joining a union. Now I know some people are kind of stubborn for some reason and they don't like the fact that they have to join unions in these type of games, but man, if you don't join a union, then you're missing out on so much. Like, I mean so much. Like, you can get free dupes over time just from joining a union. People can donate to help give you free dupes, and if you go into the union shop, here, you can get perfect Lettuce, right? And I spoke about Lettuce, perfect Lettuce earlier. They are the rarest resource in the entire game. Super rare, right? So you want to be able to buy out this shop and get your perfect Lettuce. You know, I don't know if these reset every week. It might reset every week, I think, but you want to make sure you buy these every week, right? Same with your shadow prints. Buy your shadow prints. You have summons as well, EXP books, right? Evolution lattice for your 4 stars, or sorry, for your SORs, right? So you want to make sure you take advantage of your union, right? You don't have to go so hard, but you want to make sure you come in here and do what you need to do. Same thing with doing your union quest. Make sure that that everyone in your union is doing these, so you do all get these resources as well. So yeah, next thing is take part in the events, right? So if you head over into events, so events here, you want to make sure you take part of all in all these events, right? Because these events are going to give you Hydra crystals. They're going to be able to give you perfect Lettuce. They're going to give you pulls. Like, you want to make sure you come in here and you do these, right? Or else you will fall behind and not get access to these resources that you need. And building from that, if we head on over into the hyperlink charter missions, like, not doing these is gonna be really bad. So you need to make sure you're coming in here and doing all your hyperlink charter missions, right? You need to make sure you do all these. Has tons of resource, Hydra crystals, pulls, shadow prints, summons. Like, you're gonna get so much from these, so make sure you come and do all of these. These are a priority as well. Same thing for the 7-day event. If you back out again and go back into the event tab, there will be a 7-day event thing here, where for the first 7 days you just have to complete all these missions, and then you get things like a perfect Lettuce. You can see here you get Hydra crystals, same thing, resources, prowess things, shadow prints. And on day 7 you get a Linglu, and Linglu is a top tier healer, the best. She's a tier 0 meta healer, man. She's insane. So make sure you come and get her. And I think you also get a, hold up, I believe you also get a, all right, that's just phase 1. Then phase 2 you also get a SSR selector as well, but missions after that aren't unlocked yet. So I don't know when we'll get the phase 2 for these objectives, but for your first 7 days you will have access to the 7-day missions for Linglo. So make sure you come and do these and pick her up. She's free, guys, and she's tier 0, so make sure you come in here and do that. So yeah, I believe that's pretty much all the mistakes to avoid, so you have you have your account as efficient as possible, and it's a smooth sailing from here, right? So hopefully this video helped you out. If it helped you out, make sure you leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss a video. I hope I provided perspective for you guys, and yeah, take care and peace.
This is Escanor, the Lion Sin of Pride from 7 Deadly Sins. Thank you for watching the pinnacle of Gacha gaming on YouTube, the one